Hello. This is Antya from Byte Shuffle. Thank you as always for watching my videos. This time, I've put together a breakdown of how to approach the Omni-Tell matchup when playing Doomsday, along with my thoughts on sideboarding strategies. There's also a link to the pile breakdown video in the description, so feel free to check it out. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. I think it's a bit weak, but I have a draw spell, lands, and some interaction, so I'm going to keep this hand. I'm digging for Doomsday. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I'm digging for Doomsday. I put Dark Ritual back first and then the dual land, but in hindsight, I think it would have been better to put back Edge of Autumn first and then the dual land. I'll counter it with Force of Will. I activate Wasteland. I'm digging for a blue card and a land here. I'm stacking Consider, then Ponder, then Tameo, Inquisitive Student, and drawing. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. These are the cards in Omni-Tell that have an impact on the Doomsday matchup. First, the counterspells, Force of Will, Flusterstorm, Force of Negation, and Consign to Memory. And then, Veil of Summer. I'm also adding Duress and Thoughtseize to fight against these. In exchange, I'm cutting Swamp and Edge of Autumn. I'm also bringing in Force of Negation to further disrupt their combo. In exchange, I'm trimming a couple of Dazes. That's because it loses value quickly against their Ancient Tomb. Next, Mistrais Village and Boseiju, who shelters all. If we let the game go too long, we can end up losing without being able to counter their key spell. We're going to deal with them by making good use of Wasteland. It depends on how the game plays out, but when we activate Wasteland, Ancient Tomb or even their green mana source can be valid targets. So I think it's important to take a moment and think it through before using it. Finally, this was a close call, but I decided to trim Tameo, Inquisitive Student, to adjust the numbers. The reason is that their combo build is stronger in the long game. This might not be entirely correct, but I felt that if we can slow them down with discard, it's better to prioritize either going for our combo or applying early pressure with Murktide Regent. That's why I chose to side it out. I'm keeping this hand because I have card draw, interaction, lands, and a combo piece. I'll use discard to check what's ahead. It would be safer to lead with discard, but it felt a bit too defensive to me, so I decided to start with Brainstorm instead. I put back Orcish Bowmasters first, then Thassa's Oracle. I probably should have played it safer. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I'll counter it with Force of Will. And this is where the adventure comes to an end. My opponent added the One Ring, Force of Will, Ancient Tomb, Show and Tell, Omniscience, and Atraxa, Grand Unifier to their hand. I'm keeping this hand because I have card draw, interaction, lands, and a combo piece. I'll use discard to check what's ahead. I cut carpet of flowers. I'm going to dig for dark ritual. Didn't find it, so I shuffle. I'm going to dig for dark ritual. Didn't find it, so I shuffle. I'll counter it with days. I'm going all in from here. I'll increase the mana needed for the combo. My opponent has 5 cards in hand. Since they cast Brainstorm just before this, there's a possibility they can combo off next turn. First, I'm going to build the pile so that I can put in Thassa's Oracle in response to their show and tell. If I stack Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn, and Thassa's Oracle in the pile, I can win while playing around counterspells. However, I'm worried they might find Consign to Memory off stock up, which is already in their hand, and I could lose to that. So I'm going to assume they don't have a counter and put Consider in the pile instead of Edge of Autumn. For the rest of the pile, I included a dual land to play around Boseiju Who Endures, and Duress to protect against Consign to Memory. I built the pile in this order: dual land, Duress, Thassa's Oracle, Street Wraith, Consider. My opponent shuffled off a Ponder. I draw a card with the Cycler. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I win with Thassa's Oracle. Thank you very much for watching until the end. I apologize for the many misplays along the way. I hope we can all continue to improve at Magic together. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. I'll see you again in the next video. This is Antya, signing off.